I'd love to make my own video game. I feel like people would probably fund a video game I would make. But I don't have the know-how, so it's not really a thing. If I made a video game, it would probably be like King of Fighters, and it would probably have parries. But I already know how I would fix parries, because parries are almost always broken. Alright, here's my idea for parries. Parries are special move cancelable, but they've got a long recovery. So it would greatly inhibit the max damage you could get off a parry. Also, they'd be commit parries, unlike Yatagara's. You can't just do like fucking OS parries all over the place. They gotta be hard reads. But like, imagine Ryu in Street Fighter 3, okay? Pretend you're playing Ryu right now. If you get a parry with Ryu, you get Stay and Fierce into EX Donkey into fucking Shoryuken. Okay, that does a fuck ton. That does a lot. That does like a third of your health or more, depending on your character. If you had to go straight to a special move, you could do parry into uppercut, like reliably, and then you would get maybe like a little more than 10% of your opponent's life off for every parry. But maybe if it was a pretty unsafe move you parried, you'd be able to get off an EX Donkey Kick, and from there like a hard Tatsu, and that would be maybe 20% of the opponent's health bar. But you wouldn't be able to get off like 25% just off any parry. And then I'd probably have a character who's like a command grab character who had one of them Yun style command grabs, where he could get his full combos after that, but he would be weak. But I'd like have a much lower max damage off of a parry compared to max damage off of like a good connect. Yeah, like Tekken, when you get a low parry, you just get like a bound combo. And it's better than a normal bound combo because the gravity's still really good. But like, it uses up your bound immediately, right? I want parries to be good and worth going for, but I don't want them to be the universal best option all the time. I don't want it to be worth it to fucking attempt to parry, to guess parry. I mean, it's not fucking, it only exists in its very preliminary stages. I feel like it would be really hard to design a complex game, so I'd have 4 normals for simplicity. Or rather, 4 buttons for simplicity. I don't know if I do punch and kick. Alright, here's an idea I've had for a long time. Okay, and this, like, tell me if this is a game you would play. It's a create a character game. Like, there's an entire meta around creating a character. And we'd have theoretically a bunch of, like, customize options to make a character that looks really cool. Like you know, other games with their fighter creators. It would be a 2D fighter for sure, and it would have cartoony graphics. But you'd be able to choose different hairstyles, different hair colors, different clothing, stuff like that. But then you'd be able to design your character's normals and like special moves. You'd be able to choose special moves from a list. Like if you really like playing a character with like a safe special move, like a safe like multi-chip special move, you could do that. Or if you really like playing a character who has a Shoryuken, you could do that. But not everything would be the same price. Like, there'd be, like, 3 special moves max, and you couldn't necessarily run certain combinations. Or maybe, like, if you ran a Shoryuken and an SPD, you couldn't run a 3rd special move. Or, like, something like that. And then I'd, like, fucking hopefully have some system where I could balance it around, the success of certain combinations. And there would be a couple pre-designed fighters, but, I feel like the meta would inherently be very much about like running your custom character against other people's custom characters. Even if people only, I would try to make them balanced, but even if there were only a set amount of viable characters, I feel like that would still be okay. I feel like that would still make a fun game. That's my idea. It would honestly, that's my thought process, actually. I have no idea what I'm doing. Is to be like a card game. To be like a card game or like competitive Pokemon, something like that, something where you choose a team. I want that, but a fighting game. That's my idea. I'd love to make it a reality. What do you guys think? You think that's got a future? You think that's an okay idea? Oh god, sheer amount of death in this hallway. Makoto with good walk speed. Dash speed and walk speed would be on the menu. There'd be things you could choose. I'd love a build a character from the ground up kind of game. Or maybe like if you wanted an SPD, you'd have to choose slow walk speed. Or maybe you could have an SPD and fast walk speed, but you had to only have the SPD. The better range the SPD, the less the walk speed. No, I don't like purchasing moves. I don't like the idea of... let me go back. Yeah, I like purchasing moves with points, but everyone should start with like 500 points or whatever. I don't think that you like should unlock like a higher tier character or anything like that. But a draft system sounds great. That's one of the ideas I considered. But like, I don't want like something like League of Legends. That's something I want to avoid, where you have to unlock heroes and shit. Does League of Legends make you unlock heroes? What are games that make you unlock heroes? I need like, the problem with my game is that it would be super hard for me to make because I have no sort of like artistic talent at all, and it would be a game highly based on customization. See how that's like already pretty shit.